Hey everybody, this is Flor from Learning English with Flor. If you have recently subscribed, I really appreciate it. And if you're checking out my channel for the first time, welcome. Can we all agree that this year has been very challenging? Why not talk about idioms that we use or that you might hear when someone talks about their stress? There are 10 total phrases that I want to share with you today. And the first one comes from the phrase stressed out. This is also a phrasal verb because you're combining the two words together, stressed out. Notice how I pronounce the ED of stressed. It sounds like a T. Stressed, stressed, stressed out. You can say, I feel stressed out, or I am stressed out. Both mean the same, that you might feel anxious or irritated. You feel overwhelmed that you have too much happening or too much pressure of something. So think of this. Right now, many people are stressed out. You can't really travel to different places. You have to wear masks. This causes a lot of stress to some people. People feel stressed out. This brings me to the next one that I hear a lot in the work setting, and I think we can use it almost in any case. Burnt out. Burnt out. This is another phrasal verb. Burnt out. Practice pronouncing it. People who feel burnt out is usually when they have a lot of tasks to complete, and maybe they take on more tasks than they should, and it's too much. They can't handle too much pressure. They might get burnt out. When you have a lot of negative things going on in your life, you could say, I'm going through a lot. I'm going through a lot. Notice the pronunciation and notice how I say the sentence. I'm going through a lot. I don't pause between the words. I'm going through a lot. It sounds more natural when you combine these words together. I'm going through a lot. Sometimes people will say this. I got a lot on my mind. I got a lot on my mind. Essentially, this means I have a lot of things in my head. I'm trying to figure them out. So, how about you? If I ask, do you have a lot on your mind? If so, you could say that. I got a lot of things on my mind. And you could even change it to more informal ways of expressing that. I got a lot of stuff on my mind. Too much stuff. Here's the next one. When you say, I got a lot on my plate. I got a lot on my plate. Notice again how I'm saying the sentence and listen to how I pronounce it. I got a lot on my plate. I even emphasize the a lot. I got a lot on my plate. Just imagine if you had a plate full of food, all the good food you can think of. It's just so much you have to eat now. So if you have too much on your plate, that's another way to express the stress we feel. I got a lot on my plate. Maybe you are in a job where you have so many responsibilities. When you have so many things to do, you got a lot on your plate. Have you ever met somebody who just made you feel really nervous or maybe really irritated? When someone or something is getting on your nerves. This is the next one. Getting on your nerves. Stop calling me every 5 minutes. You're getting on my nerves. Ever said that to somebody? So this is a way to express when somebody is really getting to you and making you feel anxious. Or maybe it's not a person, but a situation. This new project is just getting on my nerves. There's so many components that I don't understand, or I don't think it's possible to do by the deadline. It's just getting on my nerves. Make it go away. Here's a question for you. Have you ever met somebody that make their life seem so perfect online? I cannot stand them. So I just can't stand it, is saying I really dislike or I don't like something. I can't stand it when people pretend to be perfectly happy every single day. But it can be a situation as well, not just a person. You could say, I can't stand the idea of having to wear masks for the rest of my life. I can't stand the idea of life not being normal for a long time. So it means that you really dislike something or someone, and that is a phrase you could use. Many of you probably heard this one already, but here it is, going crazy. I'm going crazy. You might think that sometimes too. I'm going crazy. You're going crazy. We're all going crazy. This is something you say when you feel really angry about something or really impatient. You just can't wait so much. You're going crazy. I took a test last week. I'm going crazy, wondering if I passed. Or, stop yelling at me. You're making me go crazy, right? I'm sure you've had these conversations with people before. So this is an expression to say, I'm really angry or I'm really impatient. I'm going crazy. The last two expressions are this. When you feel you're at a breaking point. I'm at a breaking point. That means that you have so much already happened. You cannot possibly have something else go bad, go wrong. Have you ever had a breaking point? I had one last week. These are just things that are part of life, but it is a way to express when you can't handle anymore. Which leads me to the last one. I'm going to tear my hair out. I'm going to tear my hair out. So physically, you might not tear your hair out. This is what you say when you feel very anxious, maybe very nervous of the situation that's happening. Listen to how I pronounce the going to. It is going to, but a lot of times Americans tend to say gonna. I'm gonna tear my hair out. It's very informal, but it is what we do a lot of times. And oftentimes when we're frustrated, we're not thinking of how to say things formally. We usually say them informally. So in this case, the pronunciation becomes gonna. I'm gonna tear my hair out. So these are expressions that we use when we express our stress, our discomfort in any given situations, whether personal or professional life. So how has life been treating you recently? Maybe share in the comments below and try using a phrase or two that you learned from this video to express what you've been going through. I have put everything in the description box, as well as some resources that you can use and the links for you to connect with me on other social media. I'd love to hear your feedback, any responses, any comments that you have for me. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. I'll be seeing you again soon. Everybody take care. Have a great week. I got my stress relief right here.